Good morning and welcome to our May 2nd BCSF Sangha service. My name is Mika.
I'm James, and we are part of BCSF Junior IBA, and we are chairing today's service. This service is being recorded and will be available for viewing later on YouTube. The speaker view that you see on your screen is the version that is being recorded. Before we begin the service, we ask everyone to please mute their mics. Thank you.
We will begin with our group reading of Three Treasures 1, and it should also be projected on the screen so that you guys can follow along. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we submerge in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciplines of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meanings of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Next, we have a chanting of Juseige, which is led by Camille Sensei.
Juseige, from the larger Sutra of Immeasurable Life. In that sutra, Bodhisattva Dharmakara, who becomes the Amida Buddha, declares to the Buddha Lokeshvara Raja his intentions to become a Buddha himself. The three sacred vows refer to Dharmakara's pledge to establish the most incomparable vow in the world, to become a great provider and save the poor and suffering, and to attain Buddhahood and have his name heard throughout the 10 quarters of the universe. Gagon chosegan Kishimujodo Shigan Fumanzok Sefujo Shogak Gao Muryoko Fuidai Seshu Fusai Shobingu Sefujo Shogak Gashijo Butndo Myosho Chojipo Kukyo Mishomon Sefujo Shogak Ryokujin Shonen Joe Shubonyo Shigumu Jodo Isho Teninshi Jinriki Endaiko Fusho Musaido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kaihi Chiegen Meshi Konmo An Hesokusho Akudo Sudaten Zen Shumon Koso Jo Manzok Iyoro Jippo Nichigaten Shujuki Tenko Ompugen Ishu Kaihozo Kose Kudokuho Jo Daishu Chu Seppo po shi shiku kuyo isai butsu gu soku shu toku hon ganne shinjo man toku isangai o nyobun mugechi tsudan mi fusho ganga kuerik toshi saisho son shigan yakoka daisen o kando koku shotenin to uchin myoke namandabu 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 ganni shikudoku Byodo seisai dohon bodai ishin ojo an rako. May this merit virtue be shared equally with all beings. May we together awaken the Bodhi mind and be born in the realm of serenity and joy. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Camille Panting Sensei will now introduce our Dharma speakers for today.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see all of your smiling faces. Today, it is my great joy to introduce two of our Padma Sangha Dharma class speakers who will be taking their final exams in front of all of us today. Kyan, who will be earning his Sangha award, is from Troop 58, sponsored by Konko Church. And Kayleigh, who is a high school junior YBA student, who will be earning her Dharma award. Both Kyan and Kayleigh have been studying for over a year in the Padma Sangha Dharma class, which is designed to help young people learn about Buddhism and reflect on how it impacts their values in life. They will be speaking today on a meaningful aspect of Buddhism, and for Kyan, the Scout Law, in addition to that, and for Kayleigh, the values that guide her life, in addition to that. Kyan will speak first, followed by Kayleigh. Please give them your attention and support.
Hello, my name is Kyan Ichinose, and I'm a sophomore at Sacred Heart Cathedral. I've been participating in Camille Sensei's program for more than a year, and in that time have learned a lot about Buddhism. Today, I'd like to share about a Buddhist teaching called impermanence, and then relate that to the Boy Scout law. Impermanence is the teaching and understanding that nothing lasts forever. Joy and happiness can't last forever, and neither will pain and suffering. My personal experience goes back to the first day of middle school. I attended JBVP, Japanese Bilingual Bicultural Program, at Rosa Parks Elementary School in Western Addition. The school was kind of divided into two different groups. There was general education and JBVP. Although we were all on the same campus, we really didn't do much together. The JBVP program was mostly Asian and white. My friend group was also mostly made up of Asian people. And outside of school, I played basketball for the Associates, which is the Asian basketball organization. which meant that all my friends from basketball were also Asian, just to give you an idea of who I was friends with at the time. The transition into middle school is where I struggled. I attended Presidio Middle School along with all my other friends, but only for about 3 weeks when my parents transferred me to Gateway Middle School. Gateway is a very small charter school with about 100 kids per grade level. However, I argued against their decision because I was comfortable at Presidio, and I also had a bunch of friends who were going there. And I felt comfortable there. Comparing these two, Gateway has a much more diverse student body across Black, Hispanic, and white students, and Asians only make up 5 to 10% of the students there. My first couple weeks at Gateway were very different, especially my first few days. There might have been one other Asian kid in my class, so I felt that I couldn't really relate to anyone else. I'd also transferred a couple weeks into the school year, so everyone had already made friends and stuff like that. So I started to play basketball during lunch and made friends that way, since I had something in common with who I was playing with. After that, I made new friends and got to enjoy school for more for what it had to offer. What started as a very unwanted and uncomfortable situation for me eventually turned into a good experience. I had also made friends across many different types of ethnicities. Understanding the concept of impermanence and realizing that a bad situation is only temporary will help you navigate through hard times. In my case, I really didn't want to transfer schools because I was comfortable at Presidio. But by thinking that things will get better and that the pain I'm feeling from transferring schools is temporary, I was able to move past the fact that I was leaving my friends and move on to making new ones. Impermanence can also be applied to every situation, good or bad. An easier example to understand is when a loved one has passed away. Some of us have all been in that situation, and although it's very hard to accept it, thinking of impermanence and that the pain won't last forever may help guide you through those tough times. I'm also part of Troop 58 from Konkol Church, right down the street from the Buddhist church. And in Scouts, we recite the Scouts Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Out of these 12 characteristics, I think that bravery is among the more important values, because in order to achieve anything, you need to have the courage and be confident enough to pursue your dreams. Bravery and impermanence also go hand in hand. If we truly understand what impermanence is, it helps strengthen our mental strength to face difficult situations. At the end of the day, we're all going to come across situations or events that makes us feel uncomfortable. That's just life. But by understanding the teachings of impermanence and bravely facing those feelings and emotions, knowing they will subside, I believe anything in life is possible. Thank you.
Hi, can everyone hear me? Okay. Hi, my name is Kayleigh, and I am a sophomore at St. Ignatius High School. Today is the culmination of my learning about Buddhism as I earn my Dharma award. I will be speaking on 2 aspects of Buddhism that are important to me and help guide my life. They are oneness, our connection to everything and everyone, and the value of sentient life. I was not exposed to formal religion when I was younger. My parents wanted my brother and I to choose which spiritual path we wanted to embark on. Through this class with Camille Sensei, I have learned so much about Buddhism. Through the connections that I have now fostered, I have come to the realization that half a century ago and half a world away, Popo, my grandmother, was also learning about and practicing Buddhism in the place she was born and raised, a place she called Burma, and what we now call Myanmar. In 1951, Popo was born straight into the hustle and bustle of city life in the former capital city of Rangoon. She lived in a 1-room concrete structure on 39th Street with her parents and 10 siblings, who are all devout practicing Buddhists, as 90% of the Burmese population practice Theravada Buddhism. When she was 19, she moved a half-hour bus ride away to the suburbs, where she lived with Gongong, my grandfather, in a 1-room straw hut with a mud floor. Together, An important part of their daily life included burning incense and chanting what Popo calls Buddha music. Popo uses prayer beads, which is similar to our Anenju, to help her meditate, clear her mind, focus, and practice mindfulness. This mindfulness that she practices while praying extends outwards into the world around her. One of the many things I have inherited from Popo is her belief that every sentient life has value. I know that she is very mindful in practicing this sentiment, as she is a vegetarian. Personally, I have reduced my meat consumption to only a couple days a week, but I hope to one day be as disciplined as Popo is in showing respect to all animal life. The insistence that she places the same significance on every life, as well as her mindfulness, are some of the qualities I admire most about her. In addition to valuing all sentient life, another Buddhist concept that resonated strongly with me is oneness and our connection to everything and everyone. I am connected to my grandparents, not only by blood, but also by the shared belief that we are all a link in Amida's golden chain. As I look back at my family's history, I think that oneness and the importance of sentient life can be traced back to my great-grandfather, who I call Super Gongong. Super Gongong moved from impoverished China to Burma in 1935 when he was 16. Not speaking a lick of Burmese, Super Gongong only had the values engraved in him when he went to Burma. There, he worked as a logger alongside multi-ethnic laborers, some of whom were Muslims. He embraced his new life in Burma and was able to make many friends. He even learned to speak Arabic through his conversations with his Muslim co-workers. This would have been very unusual for a Chinese man to fluently speak Arabic in the early 20th century. Super Gongong would not know at that time that the Burma that provided his family with a shelter, religion, and a community would today be facing a humanitarian crisis seen all around the world, the Rohingya genocide. Rohingya are the ethnic Muslim minority who live on the western coast of Burma and are being persecuted by the Burmese military. I have never met Super Gongong, as he died 25 years before I was born, but I wonder what a conversation with him would be like on this subject. I imagine we would be connected through a great deal of similarities. For instance, I imagine he would be alarmed and saddened by the atrocities being committed against the Rohingyas because of their religion and ethnicity. I imagine that he would want the Burmese military to be more consistent with their Buddhist values and teachings by embracing the concept of oneness, and therefore extending compassion and empathy towards others, especially to marginalized communities, in the hope that it will lead to equality for everyone. I personally would like to see all governments and communities practice oneness. As I think about the core values of Buddhism that I have learned from Camille Sensei's classes, I think about the value of sentient life and oneness, our connection to each other. I think about my ancestors who are no longer on this earth, my family who live with me today, my global community, my puppies, Happy and Kiwi, my friends, and how we are all connected to each other in Amida's golden chain. I think about the pandemic that we are currently living through and see how connected we all are in this existence. I have seen how such a destructive force can wreck our lives so quickly and with total disregard for human life. However, this also gives me the hope that our values as Buddhists can spread just as quickly and effectively. Our worlds may be in turmoil, but I remain optimistic that our Buddhist principles that have been embossed in us will be enough to shape the world into a place where we are all connected by the same virtue. All sentient life has value. Thank you to everyone, and especially to Camille Sensei for your support and guidance throughout my spiritual journey.
Thank you, Kyan and Kayleigh, for your guys' wonderful Dharma talks. I really enjoyed listening to them, and I hope you guys did too. Next, we will have our Gatha for today, which is say Namo Amida Butsu, and the words should be shown on the screen.
Now we have a meditative reading of Our Pledge, written by Gomonshu Kojun Otani. Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the kind Buddha. Now becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance, I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy of sadness in others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
For appreciations, we'd like to thank Kyan and Kayleigh for their Dharma talks. We'd like to thank Camille Padding Sensei, Reverend Elaine Donlin, and Kevin Yosa for helping us to chair this service. And then we'd also like to thank our BCSF choir for their Gatha performance. For announcements, please join us every Wednesday at 6:30 for mindfulness meditation, led by Leo Jocelyn Sensei. And the BCSF Book Club meets every other Tuesday at 2 p.m. Please call or email the BCSF office for the Zoom links. Are there any other announcements?
Yes, I'd like to let everyone or remind everyone that we're going to have our BCSF bento fundraisers again. And the next one is going to be May 16th, Sunday, May 16th. The menu will be sent out via an email blast. So if you're not on our mailing list, if you're not receiving the Light of Dharma and the Zoom links, et cetera, for services, call the office and we'll get you on our list. All right. But please support us on May 16th for the bento fundraiser. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Kevin Yosa here. I have a share screen, so give me a second. We invite you to join us for May We Gather, a national memorial ceremony to pay respect and offer merit to Asian American Buddhist ancestors, including those who lost their lives to violence in the past year. The ceremony will be broadcast live on YouTube at 4 p.m. on May 4th, 2021, with the participation of Asian American Buddhists from various traditions, languages, and cultures, including Burmese, Cambodian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Lao, Sri Lankan, Taiwanese, Thai, Tibetan, and Vietnamese, among others. For more information and to endorse the ceremony as an individual or as a temple, please visit maywegather.org, and please share this information with your friends, families, and communities. Thank you.
This is Camille. I just want to welcome a guest, who is Mr. Carlton Yee, who is a Kyan Scoutmaster who joined us today. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Yee.
Thank you for having us, or me actually, and I enjoy every minute of it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining today's virtual Sangha service. You are welcome to stay on for our social gathering at the end of the service. Take care, stay safe, and we look forward to see you again. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.